Recording. There he is. Hey, Dakota.
How are you?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Doing very well, thank you. I appreciate you setting up this call.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. My pleasure. We're just going to keep it casual. And it's really neat that we can have this technology. I was still trying to get the uh, gist of Zoom, and I don't think you can see my screen right now, can you?
No, I can't see your screen. I could just see your webcam right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm looking for the control panel. Sometimes it hides on you.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with the Zoom either, but I do like the platform that they have.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's really nice. I actually have purchased a package that will hold up to 1,000 people on a webinar, and 500 people at one time showing their screens all at once on the actual screen. It's pretty neat. I participated in some of those. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, but it's not giving me the option of sharing a screen. That may be something you have to set up ahead of time. So this practice is good because our main objective meeting with you today is just like I said, just reaching out in the community and getting to meet face to face with people. It adds such an element of just arousing our senses to make us more familiar with one another and understanding who we are and what our goals and our objectives are with the community. And so I guess maybe I'll go first, or you're welcome to go first. I invited you, so I'll let you go first. What 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 prompted you, or what attracted you to? Um, I guess we're both involved in crypto, and that's kind of where what we have in common, and kind of where we met with Mike Klingler's group. I know I've followed Mike Klingler for some time, and perhaps you have too.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, just give me a little background. Where are you from? What do you do? How did you end up in the Unifii Team Builder group? What got you there? What's your interest, and what's going on?
All right. I appreciate you leading the call too, because I was kind of blank when I went into this. I wasn't really sure what to talk about. But yeah, I'm 25. I live in northern British Columbia. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Great.
Where are you from?
I'm in Florida.
Florida. Oh,
Yeah.
so you got hurricanes right now, don't you?
Well, we had one came pretty close, but I'm in Northeast Florida. So we get I'm 80 miles inland now. This is where I'm born and raised, just north of Jacksonville. I'm kind of northwest of Jacksonville. I've been over on a little barrier island for about the last 18 years, Amelia Island. Just like I say, it's a little barrier island there, and it was really nice. I'm come from the sales background, sell manufactured homes here in Northeast Florida. They say the further north you go in Florida, the more southern you become. So that's where the southern accent. I'm on the Florida Georgia border, and there's a lot of rural communities here. And I grew up here in Lake City, Florida, right here on the Florida Georgia line. But yeah, so you're in Canada, and what part of Canada?
Northern British Columbia. My little city is called Dawson Creek, not Dawson's Creek, but
Yeah.
Dawson. Yeah, we actually have concerts that come here quite often. A lot of big names, but they
Yeah.
always say something about it. They're like, they warned me about the S, and everybody's like, ah.
Right on, right on. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. And I think, well, as I said, I'm learning Zoom, and of course you are as well. I think you said you're kind of new to Zoom too, and I think there's different views. So yeah, I think this one, because I'm always trying to look at the screen, and if you're looking at the screen, then you're kind of not looking at the participant. So
Yeah.
there's a way you can shift the little where we are. so that we can look at one another and still look at the camera as well. So I always try to shift that to the middle there. It makes it a little better for me. You're welcome. I think you have the ability to kind of shift it around for yourself too. I know, so you've been involved with crypto. Have you been kind of following it for some time now? When did you start? When were you first introduced to crypto?
So basically what got me into cryptocurrency to begin with
Right.
was wanting some kind of like passive income. I wanted to invest in something else that would pay me. Like that's always what I wanted. I always wanted to make money from home. This isn't new for me. Like I've wanted this since I was probably about 18 or 19. It's always been a desire of mine.
Yep.
So I just started searching stuff on Google and then on YouTube. Big fan of YouTube now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And came across Davercoin. I didn't come across Mike Klingler right away. I came across Davercoin, and I
Right.
see everybody making little profits here and there from it.
Right.
So I invested in that,
Mhm.
and then once I invested in that, it was doing good for a while. And then so I'd watch everything on YouTube. I'd watch every single video, whether it was crappy or not. And that's originally how I found Mike. And something just clicked right away as soon as I seen his video. I
Right.
knew he was somebody that I wanted to pay attention to. I knew he knew more than I did in this industry. I knew he had a lot more money than I did, so he was doing something right. So that's what
Right.
got me into it.
Yeah, well, I have a similar backstory myself. As a matter of fact, Mike has that consoling voice. His temperament is very calm, and I think it gets people's attention. And because there's so much noise out here, we're always so bombarded with. It kind of reminds me always a cartoon I saw one time with just with all that we're so inundated with advertisements online. Everybody's got a sign and they're screaming at the top of their lungs, "Join me, join this, join that." So I have that in common with you. I was attracted to his demeanor, and his calmness was soothing. It was welcoming for me as well. The first time I heard him, and I think I started following him. I got, of course, my attention, my interest was piqued when Bitcoin hit, the $20,000 mark towards the end of the year, first of the year. And I saw several of my online friends, online marketers, who had became millionaires. They're long-term online marketers, had been full-time for several years. So they were really following the trends. And I had not been marketing directly online, even though, like yourself as well, another common thing that we have is that I have always been attracted and intrigued by being able to work from home and network marketing, direct sales. I love people. I love building people empowers me, to be able to share what I know to another human being. There's just something kind of spiritual with that, and it's uplifting. And I've always, from the first time I got involved with Amway back in the day, you're probably too young. Amway kind of figured it out maybe. But that was the grandfather of direct sales. They're the ones that kind of paved the way for us. But they were, they started door to door in direct sales and many, many decades ago now. But I've been in the industry, and I've achieved a few different executive level rankings with a couple different nutritional companies. I was one of the first pioneers with the Unifii when it came to market, the acai berry, before it was became a household word. And then also most recently, about 3 years ago, I brought ketones with Prove It. Got involved and was one of the early pioneers with that. And I still have residual income streams from those businesses. actually looking to sell. Unifii was bought out by Jeunesse, and they're more of a global company. They've really grown really big overseas and in the Asian markets. And so, I guess just trying to find some commonality between us, and we definitely have that in common. We started at basically as soon as we became an adult and got into this industry, and then later in life we kind of stumbled upon Mike Klingler. So I feel very fortunate to have his mentorship and his experience as far as online marketing, because a lot of my experience hasn't been from list building or building from a cold-based market perspective online. I've used online technology. I've used Zooms. I've used, the Facebook groups and so forth to build relationships and use as a platform the online community. So I've used technology and I've used the internet to build my direct sales business, but keeping the integrity intact with my current company, prove it really that I get an ongoing residual income. I have to, keep that integrity intact. And so I have to basically start with a fresh group of people networking and meeting people outside of that opportunity, because it's against their policy and procedure, of course, to recruit anyone that I didn't personally sponsor into something else in direct sales. So,
Right.
yeah. So this whole online marketing is, generating leads, using sales funnels and those kind of things. I mean, I've watched the technology. I've actually met Russell Brunson in person and followed him for a long time. Really have a lot of respect for Russell and the empire that he's built with ClickFunnels and all the success that he's helped others achieve. I've got a lot of respect and admiration for him.
That's cool. That's really cool. So you've been in it for a lot longer than I have, obviously, but
Yeah.
The internet marketing and the cold leads is new to you.
Yes, all pretty much. I mean, I've watched it. I've watched others. I know how it works, but as far as implementation for myself, I've pretty well built my other direct sales businesses belly to belly, doing open meetings, and house meetings and the old fashioned way basically, but we were integrating the technology to communicate and so forth, but not to actually do the initial building.
Okay, I gotcha.
Right.
So I do have a question for you though.
Yeah.
The person to person, you're very comfortable doing that, right? Like,
oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
How did you find transitioning to doing calls like this? Was it weird or?
Not for me. I really like it. For me, it's pretty seamless. I mean, I can just, in my mind, I just visualize you're right across the table from me and we're having a conversation, and that's, excuse me, I got a little bit of a cold from that hurricane. The cold with the shift in weather and pressure, I think. Yeah, I think maybe for me coming online, because Mike was kind of, it was maybe a little outside of the box, my approach, of kind of treating it like a mixer or something, like we're meeting at Starbucks. I mean, to me, it's kind of like that's what we're doing. We're just sitting at a table and we're talking about business and networking. So yeah, I think that for him was a little impressive, which was flattering to me to impress him, because he's such a great online marketer. So just me being, I guess, maybe just ignorant, if you will, to the fact I take it for granted that this is just the way I do it, but I'm just kind of bringing old school, like high tech meets high touch, So yeah, so I think it's a really great, powerful way for us to be able to to go out and meet people, in this fashion. And yeah, just really excited about meeting just the people that we have on our team. I get lost in all the groups and the text, and working a job too. It can be challenging to really keep up with personalities, because the personality aspect. I try to use emoticons a lot. I probably use more than most because I'm used to that. I'm used to that face-to-face connection. So that comes out in me. So yeah, I just think there's just a lot of power looking somebody in the eye and having a conversation. So
Yeah, even though it's online, like I appreciate this. I was kind of feeling like this was like a recorded video. Like obviously it's being recorded, but
right,
that feeling before I record a video, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels a little
right.
more like a bit of a hangout. So it's kind
Yeah,
of interesting for me too, because I
yeah.
don't get this much. But I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
that's what we want to kind of share with others, and that's why you and I just talked on Messenger and communicated from the groups. I always kind of want to point out how we got to this meeting, and you and I, of course, know one another from being part of the same online crypto community, and we're on a team building a organization as affiliates with Unifii. And then we had a little, I think you responded to a post and I commented, and we decided to have this meeting to continue from the post that was an example of this. So that's how we got here, for those that may be watching this on a replay. So
I am glad that you reached out too, because there's been a couple other people wanted to do this, like Terry and I can't remember the other lady's name, Kim Davis.
yeah,
Uh, they also have been reaching out too and trying to get this thing going. Just like just to talk, it's not scary. We do it every day in our
right.
daily life. Like it's no big deal, but it
Yeah.
gets you comfortable. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and that I think it'll really help with us developing our YouTube channels, because that's part of our marketing plan with Mike and Robin Lynn, and what they're doing and what they're contributing. And I think I'm really gonna like maybe the next one I do, you can do, of course, the share screen, and I'm going to start showing other people what I'm doing building my YouTube channel, because that's something really new for me too. Like I use YouTube, and I would post videos to send to people, and I'd do playlists. So I was familiar with all that, but I've never been doing it in the aspect of lead capture. So I've got a new channel, so I'm starting fresh with that, and I think this whole part of being organic and showing people behind the scenes, if you will, just saying, because people like to see that it's not easy getting started, because they're struggling getting started, and they're like, how did these people get where they are? They seem polished, and they seem, their channels all glitzy and glamorous and looks flawless. And so I just think it's really important to be real and be transparent, and sharing that strengthens the relationship, because you get the respect of people seeing your vulnerability, and it helps them not be so pressured to just come on the scene all polished and perfected.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I've been trying to expose that a little more lately. It's tough, but
Yeah.
I also feel super comfortable, like with this community, the community that we're in. I feel
Right.
comfortable being able to do that, just because
Yeah.
everybody's been so encouraging.
Yeah. I think we're with some really good leadership, and we have the Unified Nation, Shane Carling and Aaron Ellis, what they're doing. And they've started a new group, and what they're doing is really working very well online, because that's what some of the leadership with Prove It has done. They formed a community, a Facebook group, where they do strictly recipes, testimonials, before and afters. They don't talk about selling the product at all or recruiting, and they just focus on casual conversation and just product knowledge, and there's no pressure of sales, and they call it Keto Friends and Customers. And we've seen I had built for quite some time, and then I got engaged, relocated, and just life happens, and I kind of had pulled back from that for a little bit, especially since I got really captivated by crypto and where it's headed. So since January, or even before that a little bit, I had pulled back away. But to make a long story short, that community that they built in that meantime, they just invited me back to, because I went to the leaders. I was like, what's going on? Because my paycheck, excuse me, my paycheck, it more than doubled overnight. And I was like, something's going on. So show me what's happening here. What are you guys doing? What are you doing for marketing? Because I'm a marketer, and I was interested in seeing how they were creating that volume. And that's what they're doing. They're doing what Shane and Aaron are doing with that new group, where they track. In other words, you invite people to that group, and then whoever invited those people are tagged, because the admin panel in the back of the groups will show who invited the person to the group initially.
Mm-hmm.
So those leads, if you will be tracked to whoever originally invited them to that group. So they belong to you. They're tagged for the life of the group. And so as we invoke conversation without directly, promoting Unifii all the time, but just talking about it in casual conversation, when someone gets ready to sign up, it may be 6 months or a year, or it may be next week. But when they raise their hand and say, hey, I want to join, then the admins or the moderators will go and look at that panel and say, okay, get back with Jerry or get back with Dakota, because they'll see that we're the ones that have initially invited them. So that works really well. And that's exciting to see that we have that now available. And I'm thankful for them doing that. That's going to be really good.
Yeah, I haven't had any experience with anything in the past with that, but I
Mm-hmm.
could see the value, definitely. And when people are ready and they, like you said, they do lift their hand, I think they'll be ready. Like they're ready to get going.
Right. And it eliminates the pressure, because I don't believe that works very well. As a matter of fact, I know it doesn't. Chasing people on the internet, a direct sales pitch, I mean, you're wasting your time. You can spam people all day in Messenger or whatever. I mean, I've tried it. I've watched people. I've been the receiver of it. I know it's ineffective and it's a waste of time and energy. So allowing people to raise their hand and say, put me in, I'm ready, it's a much more pleasurable experience for them and us as promoters or affiliates trying to build an organization. So yeah, really neat.
It feels like a lot more that it flows with the energy of life too, right?
Right. And yes, exactly. The organic flow of community building and providing upfront value. I don't know if you follow Seth Godin, but I will talk about him ongoing in my Zooms and in my marketing efforts, because he is one of my biggest mentors on a celebrity status, I guess. He's an author, and he was a very big part of getting Yahoo started in the early days, back then Yahoo was bigger than Google. You know, they were the first to make it to the top. And just to give you a little quick backstory on myself too, where I really fell in love with the power of the internet in community building. One of his books, I think I can probably get you a free copy, or you can even Google Permission Marketing is the title of his book that really taught me a lot about marketing on the internet. He is he's a genius. He's got a blog, and his stuff, he's really brief, and that's something I struggle terribly with. I'm from the South, and we tell stories, you know. So when I start writing, I can't say anything short.
That's all right. I think it adds to your personality too. Some people are very short, cut, say as much as needs to be said, and that's it. And some people like to elaborate. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a storyteller. You know, I'm used to sitting around the campfire. We camped out a lot growing up. I was raised on a farm. We grew tobacco and corn for the deer. We hunted during the winter and farmed during the summer. It was a tough but fun and adventuresome.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. So what do you do outside of direct sales? What do you do for your job?
Outside, I run equipment for the oil field construction. So I build leases and fences, and I don't deal with anything directly in like the drilling or the fracking. And it might be a hot topic for anybody watching this, because a lot of people are pretty sour around that. But it's the biggest industry around here. So it's a lot of work. So that's what I do.
Yeah, I bet. I'm sure it provides a lot of families with a good stable income around that area.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Like, for example, like it's kind of crazy. Like we'll have 19-year-old kids here driving like brand new Duramax jacked up trucks, like $100,000 vehicles.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen anything like it. It's crazy. I don't drive anything like that, but I think it's kind of a waste of money if you don't.
Yeah. Well, you're smarter than the younger folks doing that, and some of the older ones too. But yeah, I don't know. Have you ever read any of Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad? If you had an opportunity to check that out.
Yeah, I bought his book, and then I think I have a CD set from him too.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, and that's Robert Kiyosaki. He has always been really good at even for young people. I think he even did a Rich Dad Poor Dad for kids, even though his original book was teenagers or even adolescents. I think is good. It's just amazing what all we aren't taught in school. When we get out here and with the internet now and having answers you can literally go on YouTube and ask YouTube how to do anything. Things you don't even know you don't know how to do. You can find the answer. I mean, you can fix a dryer to changing a starter on a car. I've done both, watching a YouTube video. So
it's amazing.
Yeah,
we live in. Like,
it is.
I know I'm young and I haven't seen as much as what it was before, but I think it's crazy cool.
Yeah, it is. It is. Another one of my people that I look up to is Elon Musk, and what he's done with Tesla and his passion for space travel. I heard he wants to put 1 million people on Mars like by 2020 or something. He's a big dreamer. Yeah, and another thing I saw on one of his videos is he's actually started this company, and people say he's a boring person, and he's actually started a company that is boring tunnels under Los Angeles, like think of a subway, and he's boring. Yeah, it's like so the name of his company is Boring, which is play on words, of course. And it's cost $1 billion a mile. But what he's doing is his dream and his passion, his goal is it showed a video illustration, but you basically pull your car up to like a parking place, and then an elevator takes your car below the street level, and then you're like, your car is in a frame, and it reminded me of like a Hot Wheels track. So your car is like on a track, and then it just thrusts you electric. So your car, you don't have to, you turn your car off, and it's on this rack, and that rack is on the Hot Wheels track. It's what I relate it to. And it thrusts you through across town with no traffic jam or anything in LA, and doesn't cost you any gas. And then, of course, I'm sure he'll have a fee to use his service, but pollution, smog and everything out there is a great concern. So, yeah, and you go like 124 miles an hour, I think, is the average speed. So you get, not only do you eliminate traffic jams and emissions, you solve those two problems, which are huge, but it also gets you to your destination in just a blink of an eye versus having to sit in traffic. I couldn't imagine. I'm from a rural, small area, and I don't have traffic. Not anything compared to that, of course.
Oh, I feel you. Like traffic is like 10 vehicles max.
Yeah.
Piled up anywhere. Like we live in a small city.
Exactly.
Yeah,
well, we can do these, and I think it's best that we kind of keep them, around 30 minutes. We've probably been rambling about that long, but I really have enjoyed talking with you so far, and I think we probably should keep them, pretty short and just do more of them more frequently. So I'd love to invite you back. You're welcome to host them when you want. If you want to try Zoom, Zoom's free. So you can maybe do one next time for us, or I'll do it. It doesn't matter. What I'd like to work towards, and you can kind of help me and we can help each other learn this platform. But what I'd like to do is the next time I host, whenever that may be, I'd like to show my screen and kind of show you how I'm building Unifii, what I'm putting together as far as my YouTube channel. I think you're a member of my Facebook group, my small group that I have, Beginner Cryptocurrency.
I think it rings a bell. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you are. Yeah, that's my personal group that my organization, and others are welcome to come in, but that's a hub where I just kind of, it's new, and everything I've got is pretty new. I've just been kind of building that foundation, and that's why I want to come on to video now, because I think I'm at the stage where I am starting to get leads coming in off of YouTube and other areas. So I want to just kind of document this process so that others coming in will feel comfortable and see that it's not just overnight success, and you don't just get a flood of leads as soon as you put up a YouTube channel. And I've got some cool little tools that I picked up along the way and stuff like that. So love to meet with you again, though, and then really have enjoyed meeting with you so far, and don't mean to rush, but for our audience sake, and we can always talk more later, and like I said, schedule another one. But is there anything else you want to add at this point, or?
No, that's perfect for me. Like, if we keep them short, they're a lot easier to do more often. So I totally agree.
Yeah, and I know you've worked hard today, and most people are working a full-time job and doing this on the side. So our time is valuable, and I just applaud your efforts and applaud your courage for coming here and taking the time to meet with me, and look forward to staying in touch and a long relationship as we build this and build ourselves as a brand here on the internet. So yeah, sounds good. And I will send you a copy of this just as soon as we get it fixed up here, and we'll be able to share that with whom you wish to. Okay.
All right, that sounds good.
And we hope thank you, and we hope that the people that may tune into this watching, we invite you to meet with us. Contact Dakota. He'll have his link to get in touch to learn more about what we're doing. with community building and using Unifii's buy and sell signals and their whole platform for increasing our financial intelligence and taking advantage of different asset classes. So we appreciate y'all for watching, and thank you again, Dakota, and we'll see you next time, buddy.
Sounds good. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.